That is correct, Merle. And the city says rental properties in Memphis are on the rise, and oftentimes renters move out of their homes, leaving someone else to clean up the mess. The crews I spoke with who are responsible for cleaning up say one time they cleaned up 2 dead dogs that were left inside of garbage bags. Regardless of who is responsible for the mess, the city's public works director wants it cleaned up.
Cups, plates, and a torn-out wall are everywhere inside this home on Palmetto Street in North Memphis.
Where you're standing right now, is this the worst you have seen?
No, 1 out of 10, this is about a 3.
Alfred Williams is with Lifeline to Success, a program offering felons jobs and a second chance. The city of Memphis has a contract with the program to clean up some of the worst properties daily.
It makes me wonder if people actually care about the community. And when it comes to, especially when it comes to rental properties, it's difficult if you don't have good management to pay attention to those.
The leader of Memphis's Public Works Department plans to present a city ordinance to Memphis City Council in July in hopes of creating a rental property registry. Robert Connect gave us this statement, saying in part, the goal is to use data-driven decisions focusing resources on those that have a history of code violations. Williams says that action is long overdue.
Kids think they grow up, you know, they can grow up, this is like the type of lifestyle they got to live around.
I asked the city of Memphis for the top 10 code violators when it comes to rental properties. They emailed me this list. Most are from out of state, places like Georgia.
Hi, this is Siobhan Riley with Box 13.
I called all 10 to ask about their properties. Only 3 responded.
It me off simply because it doesn't have to be that way.
Bajwit Brothers Mortgage Corporation was number 4 on the list. Its address is listed as 2595 Broad Avenue in Memphis. I went to the business.
Do you mind if I ask you about your property? I understand that you guys made the top 10 list of being code violators here in Memphis.
The person who works at the front desk left the room. LPM manages some of the properties. A spokesperson called me back saying the violations have been addressed and they are now in good standing. I also called First Key Homes, which is number 1 on the list. The managing director, who's out of state, told me the company is the largest owner of single-family rental homes in the city. He said they are more likely to have the largest number of code violations.
I don't believe that because you've grown, you can use the excuse of being large to be acceptable when you're being negligent.
First Key says the tenants caused 85% of the code violations, but acknowledge the company needs to do a better job of addressing the other 15%.
All they do come to the city and suck us dry and go back home.
Home Depot, Walmart, Kohl's, Dillard's, Family Dollar, and Gordman's have more in common than weekly sales.
Find everything all right, sir?
Like this Cordova Home Depot, they are all being hit with organized retail crimes, or ORC, specifically snatch and grab.
It affects everyone. I think even our taxpayers, because at the end of the day, you know, taxes go up because of these things.
Investigators say the criminals already know what they're going to take before even stepping foot inside the store. Once they grab the items, they're out of the store within minutes. I found out the same group of thieves hit at least 6 Home Depot stores more than 20 times between May and August of last year in Memphis.
It was an incident where we had, you know, someone come in and, you know, walk out with a blower.
Memphis police arrested this man back in March. 19-year-old McCain Haynes is accused of stealing $16,000 worth of merchandise. I went to his home to ask about the accusations.
That's her guy.
Danny Sweeney says the suspect, McCain Haynes, is the father of his great-grandchild. They said he stole $16,000 worth of merchandise.
I have no idea. I know he didn't bring any of it here.
Sweeney says Haynes was at work the time we stopped by the Parkway Village home, but Haynes returned my phone call saying he had no comment. The problem is so prevalent that stores hired special investigators to track the criminals.
So I would say this is one of the main aisles that our subjects tend to focus on more.
John Goodman is an organized retail crime investigator for the Home Depot. On average, he works about 8 to 15 cases a week and parts of the Southeast region.
It's a full-blown operation. A lot of the major fencing operations that we go after will hire 15 to 20 boosters at a time. Boosters also meaning thieves to go into our stores. And just, again, not our stores, but all retailers.
Who's committing these crimes?
Same subjects who are committing your violent crimes, armed robberies, burglaries, even to severe enough as your murders.
In South Haven, Mississippi, there are at least 4 known groups responsible for organized crimes, and some of the criminals have Tennessee tags and Memphis addresses.
Our mall officers are able to identify them by appearance, so we don't give chase because it's more dangerous these days to do that, but we can go back and get warrants for them.
Mark Little with the South Haven Police Department says these organized crimes are taking away from some of their resources, but a new law is helping. Under the 2017 Mississippi ORC law, convicted organized shoplifters face up to 20 years in prison or a $25,000 fine or both.
Getting these people, these subjects off our streets through the ORC cases is a lot easier avenue than going after them when they commit an armed robbery.
34 states have ORC laws. Investigators say a lot of those items the criminals are selling end up in pawn shops. Live in the studio, Siobhan Riley, Fox 13 News. They are just telling people to speak up. And Merle, right here, this is where family members, they have placed balloons, they placed a teddy bear, flowers, to remember that child that was killed right here. One family member writes, "We love you, Tay-Tay," and there's plenty of messages on these balloons. Keep in mind, this is the 29th child killed here in Memphis this year. 29. And people say that is unacceptable.
The blonde boy, 16 years old. Jaden Knox, 10 years old.
Emmanuel Church pastor Leonard Jackson and his wife Sharita read the names of children killed in Memphis this year out of 29 names.
Ashley Luckett, 6 years old.
23 were murders, including Tayshawn Hodrick.
He was 12 years old. He was loved by everybody.
Gwendolyn Lee is the aunt of the Humes Middle School student, now the 29th child killed violently in Memphis this year. Tayshawn played football for the Memphis Cowboys, a program designed to keep boys out of trouble. Looney Avenue, where Tayshawn was murdered, is quiet now, but neighbors describe it as a rough neighborhood where they hear gunshots constantly.
Now one right here, one up there, one up over the window.
These are bullet holes from previous shootings at Pastor Eddie Brooks's home.
Why are you killing these babies? Why? Ason Golden, 6 years old. A kid has never had a chance at life.
Memphis Police Director Mike Rawlings says police can't solve this problem alone. He says it starts with parenting and mentorship programs.
I heard Stevie Moore, doing an interview, and Stevie was saying that, where's the outrage? 29 children have been killed, and there's no outrage.
And you can see right here, there is a Sky Cop cam in the area. My source told me yesterday that police are looking through surveillance video, and we're going to continue to keep you updated on that. But police say they are looking for a person in a Nissan, a red car, and that person you heard from in the story, Pastor Brooks, he says that he did see a burgundy car in this area. At 6 o'clock, we're going to hear from pastors who say they want people to speak up. Live in North Memphis, Siobhan Riley, Fox 13 News.
Siobhan, I've seen you here, and I know you haven't done 100 stories, but you pound the pavement looking for answers on this issue day after day. I'm happy to hear somebody is stepping up trying to help families.
Yes, he's doing everything he can. Representative Hardaway, he says that it should not take this long for people to find out where their claims stand. He is planning on meeting with the Tennessee Department of Labor and Workforce this week or in the coming days to find out where everything stands. Bianca Horton is one of many people who didn't get answers from the Department of Labor and Workforce Development until we called to check on her unemployment claim. She says her employer cut her hours due to the pandemic. Then the single mom had to go on medical leave in April because of a high-risk pregnancy.
She says she didn't file for unemployment until August because she wasn't sure if she'd qualify.
My message to the state is to just do what you say. If you're going to reach out and let people know their status, where they stand.
It wasn't until I reached out to the state that Horton learned she does not qualify for unemployment benefits because she went on medical leave. Instead, the state said she needs to try a disability claim. State Representative G.A. Hardaway told me the response time from the department is unacceptable.
On a scale 1 to 10, how would you rate the state of Tennessee's performance when it comes to unemployment benefits?
5. They're doing half of what they need to do. They're getting the initial claims sometimes started, and then the follow-up is a mess.
Hardaway wants to ask the Department of Labor and Workforce Development for data showing how efficient it is delivering payments and communicating back and forth with people across the state still waiting on benefits.
We're going to ask for that performance audit. We're going to ask certain questions.
Questions like, why is it taking so long? That's the main question a lot of people are asking. Now, the state has said over and over that they are adding additional resources. Earlier during the pandemic, they added the virtual chat agent, Peyton, and they also are addressing these claims from oldest to newest, but still some say it's just taking too long. Live in Orange Mound, Siobhan Riley, Fox 13 News.